Hey, what's up, guys? This is Fula coming at you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. This is going to be a boxing related video. Now, it appears that Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia are in negotiations for a fight deal in February. Looks like the deal is pretty much going to be closed. As I said in my last video, you know, Al Heyman, he'll make the fights. He'll make the fights. It just takes two to tango, and it takes another willing party to send their guy out to make the fights happen. And so, here we are. We'll get a Mikey Garcia Errol Spence fight, and I'm pretty sure the undercard will look good too. In addition to that fight, I mean, there's already talks of there being Tank Davis and Abner Mares in that undercard. So there again, you have a stacked card. That'll be a stacked card. And so this basically goes in the face of all the defectors and all the decafs who throw shots at PBC and throw shots at Showtime. And the simple fact is, when the business looks right, the business is going to be made. And that's just the reality. So as for the fight itself, it's an elite versus another elite, but the only downside to this fight is the simple fact that one of the elites is moving up in weight classes, and so it's going to be a whole different animal for him. I for one do not see what he sees that makes him think that he has a shooter's chance at stopping Spence. I don't know. Maybe there's something that he sees so much of that he thinks he can exploit. I really don't know, but I mean, I think the reality is going to be that Spence, of course, being the bigger guy, being the faster guy, being the guy more comfortable at that weight class, it's going to overwhelm him. I mean, I'm not trying to make any pre-fight predictions so soon, but I have a feeling that Earl Spence is just gonna wear him down. That's all I can say. Maybe perhaps Earl Spence will show a different look, but I don't think he has the intention of like outboxing him. I think he has the intention of just stopping that guy. That's what I think. Now let's get into like what these fanboys are going to say about the whole thing. So the fanboys are going to say, "Oh, Mikey Garcia ducked Lomachenko, and Terrence Crawford ducked, Errol Spence ducked Terrence Crawford," which they usually always say. This is the main thing you hear from them. Because again, they're fans of promoters and they're fans of certain fighters and not fans of the sport. That's just the reality, and that's the way I see it, and it shows. Now, what they're going to say now is that, oh, this is a duck move, this is this, that, and the other. But the reality is, this is a marquee matchup, despite the differences. And at the end of the day, who is Lomachenko fighting next? Another top-ranked in-house fighter. I don't give a crap if it's a unification. I really don't care. But again, it's another guy who's from his stable. Who is Terrence Crawford fighting next? Again, another in-house top-ranked fighter from Lithuania or something like that. So When you see these patterns continuing, and continuing, you can't fault the guys on the other side of the fence. They know what time it is. You cannot fault them for that. Now, could the guys on the other side of the fence do more to push for these fights? Absolutely, they can. But at the end of the day, why bother? When you have a guy who has the similar patterns over and over and over again. That's why I don't really buy Bob Arum's crap. Okay, I really don't. I really don't buy Bob Arum wanting to send his top guys out against the dogs of the division. It's something that I have not seen. I mean, you saw what he did to Pacquiao. He waited until he got knocked out a couple of times before he fought Floyd. You saw what he did to Timothy Bradley. So what makes you think he's gonna make these fights right now, if he has a pattern of doing the same thing? Answer me in the comment section. You know, for me personally, if this is the only fight that can happen between Spence and Crawford to keep, you know, keep them fresh, keep them active, then so be it. You know, you can't say Mikey Garcia is a bum. The next two guys that which one call it are fighting are bums, though. That Lomachenko and Terrence Crawford are fighting are bums. So at the end of the day, that's just what it is, man. And I'm going to point out another thing. You know, Mikey Garcia, he's foregoing a title defense against Richard Commey for this fight. And so, I mean, it sucks for Richard Commey. That's the main thing, you know, because they were about to be in negotiations and stuff like that. That fight was actually going to be made. But Errol Spence had no opponent in waiting. You know, they didn't order him to fight any Mandos or anything like that. So, for the fanboys who say that, you know, Mikey should have fought Lomachenko and stuff like that, Lomachenko don't want to fight Mikey Garcia. Like, I mean, you can see he can ask for the fight, but that's just his promoter telling him to ask for the fight. You know? That's just all that is. It's just name dropping to stay relevant. I mean, don't you see the pattern? He's coming back from surgery. So of course he's gonna want to like say something to be relevant. You know. So at the end of the day, this is, you know, it's boxing, man. It's boxing. And we see the patterns of certain fighters, you know. And hopefully, I'm hoping that in the summertime, with this being done, this fight being in February, that Sean Porter will man up and fight Errol Spence. You know, and hopefully Keith Thurman will vacate his belt or get stripped of his belt so he can stop BSing. And we can get on with the welterweight program, as the welterweight standard programming, I should say. So, leave your thoughts in the comment section and let me know what you think about this fight, and let me know if you think it's a good fight for boxing, for the fans, and for pay-per-view, since it's going to be on pay-per-view. Inshallah.